Book 51, the Tripura Rahasya. The mystery of the goddess of the three cities. Summary: the crowning jewel. This massive, ancient dialogue between the sage Dattatreya and the warrior Parashurama synthesizes the entire tradition, philosophy, story, and high ritual into a single narrative masterpiece. It reveals that the three cities, waking, dreaming, sleep, are just the play of the one goddess, pure awareness. Author attributed to Dattatreya, the primal guru. About the author: Dattatreya is the Avidhuta, the wild, naked master who roams beyond all caste and creed. In this text, he initiates Parashurama, the warrior who has conquered the world but still feels empty, teaching him that the only true conquest is the conquest of the mind. Chapter 1: The Sorrow of the Warrior. Parashurama's doubt. Parashurama had conquered the earth. The oceans of blood had dried, but his heart was empty. He asked his teacher, "I have won everything, yet I have nothing. What is the use of action?" Dattatreya smiled, "You have conquered the outside, but you are a slave to the inside. You have not conquered the city of the mind. Until you conquer that, you are just a beggar with a sword." Chapter 2: The Story of the Hill City. The Parable of Illusion. Listen to a story. There was a city built on a hill that was actually a moving cloud. The people thought the ground was solid, but it was flying. They built stone houses on smoke. This is your life. The world is a moving cloud. You are trying to build a fortress on a vapor. Wake up. The ground is moving. Chapter 3: The Goddess of the Mirror. The nature of awareness. Who is the queen of the city? She is Tripura, the one who holds the three. She is the mirror in which the cloud city appears. She is pure intelligence, Chit. She is the one who is reading this sentence right now. She is the only thing in the universe that is not a cloud. Chapter 4: The Three Cities. States of consciousness. Her kingdom has three provinces: Jagrat, the waking state, the city of the sun; Svapna, the dreaming state, the city of the moon; Su letter 1E63 UPTI, the deep sleep, the city of darkness. Most men travel between these three cities like refugees. They are never at home. They are kicked out of waking into sleep, and out of sleep into dreaming. Chapter 5: The Fourth City. Tiraya. But there is a fourth city. It is the capital. It is the awareness that watches the waking, the dreaming, and the sleeping without ever changing. The queen lives here. She never sleeps. She remembers the dreams you forgot. To enter the capital, you must stop traveling and start witnessing. Chapter 6: The Prince in the Jungle. The Parable of the Lost Self. A prince was lost in the jungle as a baby. He was raised by hunters. He thought he was a savage. One day, the king found him and said, "You are my son." The prince did not change his body. He simply changed his mind. He stopped acting like a hunter and started acting like a king. You are that prince. The jungle is the world. The king is the guru. The hunter is your ego. Wake up. Chapter 7: The Knot of the Heart. The ego. Why does the prince think he is a hunter? Because of the knot, grunty, the belief, "I am this body." This belief is the root of all fear. If you are the body, you will die. If you are the awareness, you are immortal. The knot is made of fear and desire twisted together. Chapter 8: The Dissolution of the Mind. Manolaya. How to cut the knot, dissolve the mind. The mind is a collection of stories you tell yourself about yourself. Stop telling the stories. When the stories stop, the silence remains. That silence is the queen. Chapter 9. The Wisdom of the Wise Woman. Hemelka. Listen to the story of Hemelka. She taught her husband that happiness is not in the object. It is in the peace that follows the getting of the object. You do not want the money, you want the relief of having it. The relief is your own nature. Go straight to the relief, skip the money. Chapter 10. The Universe as a Painting. Chitro. The world is a painting on a wall. The wall is the self. The painting is beautiful, but it has no depth. Do not try to drink the water in the painting. You will only lick the plaster. Drink the wall. Chapter 11. The Secret of the Spando. Vibration. The queen is not dead silence. She vibrates. She creates the world out of her own joy, Ananda. This vibration is the I am in your chest. It is the hum of the machine of the universe. Chapter 12. The Jivan Mukta. The living free. The one who knows the queen is free. He walks through the market, but he is in the capital. He eats, but he is fed by bliss. He sees the world as the play of his own beloved. He does not judge the play, he enjoys the performance. Chapter 13. The Worship of the Queen. Internal puja. How to worship her? By being her, by seeing with her eyes and loving with her heart. The highest worship is the dissolution of the other. When there is no you and her, the worship is complete. Chapter 14. The Final Truths. The collapse of the story. There is nothing but the self. The story of the prince, the city, and the queen was just a way to wake you up. Now that you are awake, throw away the story, burn the raft. Chapter 15. The Song of the Goddess. The Vidya Gita. The goddess speaks, I am the throat of the singer and the ear of the hearer. I am the thirst and the water. I am the bondage and the freedom. Those who look for me in caves miss me. Those who look for me in books miss me. I am the light that allows you to see the cave and read the book. Recognize me as your own awareness. This is the only offering I accept. Chapter 16. The End of the Archives. The Final Seal. The 51 books are complete. The mystery is revealed. The library is open. The silence is yours. Om Tat Sat Shiva Shiva Shiva. Glossary of Ki Toms Aham. Literally, I. In this tradition, it is not the small ego but the supreme I am, the perfect union of Shiva A and Shakti Ha. It is the mantra of your own existence, Anakya the unnameable, the 13th state of consciousness that lies beyond the cycle of time. It is the pure, inexplicable wonder that cannot be captured by language. Anupeya the no method or no way, the highest teaching which declares that since you are already the divine, no technique is required to reach yourself. The path for those who realize there is nowhere to go. Bhairava the great terror, or the one who bears everything. A name for the absolute that emphasizes the terrifying intensity of reality, the consumer of time and the destroyer of ego. Chamatkara, wonder, or rapture. The sudden jolt of joy that occurs when consciousness recognizes itself. It is the aha moment of the soul, Chiti universal consciousness, the intelligence that is not just knowing, but is alive and self-shining. Kanchukas the 5 cloaks, the coverings that the infinite puts on to play the game of being a finite person. They are time, space, desire, limited knowledge, and limited power. Kula the family or totality, the realization that the entire universe, the good and the bad, the poison and the nectar, is one single interconnected family of the divine. Mala dust or impurity, the primal sense of smallness or incompleteness. It is not a sin, but a contraction that makes the ocean feel like a drop. Maya the great magic or measurement, the power that makes the one appear as the many. It is not a lie, but a creative filter that allows the game of separation to exist. Prakasha, the light, the pure, self-luminous aspect of consciousness, it is the canvas on which the universe is painted. Pratyabhijna, recognition. The direct realization of one's true nature. It is compared to a woman recognizing her beloved in a disguise. Nothing changes on the outside, but everything changes on the inside. Samavsha, immersion or possession. The state where the individual ego is completely submerged in the ocean of the absolute, like a doll of salt dissolving in the sea. Shaktapata, the descent of power or grace. The lightning strike of realization that comes not from effort, but as a gift from the source. Spanda, the pulse, throb, or vibration, the subtle tremor of the absolute. It is the dynamism that proves God is not a dead stone but a living awareness. Svatantriya, absolute sovereignty or freedom, the power of the self to do, be, or create anything without any external cause. The realization that you are the author of your own reality. Tattvas, the principles or rungs. The 36 levels of reality, ranging from the solid earth at the bottom to the pure Shiva at the top. They are the steps of the ladder the soul climbs to return home. Turiya, the fourth state, the underlying witness that exists behind the three common states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Vimarsha, the reflection or self-awareness. If Prakasha is the light, Vimarsha is the light knowing it is light. It is the mirror aspect of consciousness. About the editor, Christopher Townsend is a writer, researcher, and synthesizer of wisdom traditions based in Aotearoa, New Zealand. A veteran and a trained chef, Christopher's life has been defined by a refusal to accept surface-level explanations. His journey has taken him from the high-pressure environments of military and kitchens to the subtle internal landscapes of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, mathematics, and complexity science. It was in the non-dual tantras of Kashmir, however, that he found the ultimate synthesis, a philosophy that did not reject the world, but devoured it. Realizing that these profound texts were often locked behind dense academic language, Christopher set out to create a Bible for the modern seeker, a single volume that places the direct transmission of the masters into the hands of those who need it most. He approaches these texts not as a linguist, but as a practitioner, applying the rigorous modeling techniques of NLP to decode the strategies of the ancient sages. He lives in New Zealand, where he cares for his family and continues his work on the visual guide to the direct path and the unsung architects, a series chronicling the lives of significant New Zealanders. The secret library of consciousness is now open. For centuries, the non-dual tantras of Kashmir have been revered as the Mount Everest of spiritual philosophy. They contain a vision of reality so radical and life-affirming that it dissolves the boundary between the sacred and the profane, revealing the entire universe as a play of divine consciousness. But for the modern seeker, these texts have largely remained out of reach, locked behind dense academic Sanskrit, complex linguistic debates, and the dusty shelves of university libraries. Until now, the Kashmir Shaivism Bible breaks the seal on this ancient tradition. This monumental volume collects 51 of the most essential texts of the lineage, stripped of their academic armor and rendered into visceral modern English. From the lightning-flash aphorisms of the Shiva Sutras to the ecstatic roar of the Bhairava Stotra, and from the detailed maps of the Tantraloka to the radical, crazy wisdom of the Vachulanatha Sutras, this collection is not just a book of philosophy. It is a manual for the direct recognition of the divine in daily life. In this volume you will find the foundation, the original revelations that sparked the tradition, the vibration, the secret teachings on Spanda, the divine pulse, the recognition, the direct path teachings that require no rituals, the devotion, the ecstatic hymns of the poet saints, the practice, practical manuals on breath, attention, and the no method. Designed with a classic double-column layout for easy reading and contemplation, this book is an invitation to stop searching and start recognizing. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop.